Yeah, right.
Last thing,
Dempsey.
and this is just coming out, and we were talking about this a little before the break. The Nuggets have apparently, according to Real GM, are looking to sign Jamal Franklin for the rest of the season. There's a lot of these little roster moves happening right now, Chris.
Yeah.
Stuff that you just think to yourself, there's just no way this person's going to be on the team next year. What is the reason for all this? And even this latest one, you reported earlier today a little bit about it.
Yeah, so the Nuggets, after a couple of the trades at the trade deadline, found themselves pretty far below the salary floor in the NBA, and so
and there's a minimum too. There's a maximum. You go over the maximum, you pay a luxury tax. You go into the minimum, you pay
the players. You pay the players the difference. And they don't, listen, they don't want to pay huge sums of money to the players, but so in part, not in total, Ian Clark's signing was to help get them closer to the floor. And then they had this thing with Shavlik Randolph a couple of days where they signed him. His contract was like $1.22 million, gets them within about $600,000 of the floor. But they'd never had any, designs on having him on the roster. So you cut him, he clears waivers, you keep his salary, his salary number stays on your cap. Therefore, you can take the prorated side. Now, what they would have had to pay was the last little piece of his salary for this year. So you take that, you pay Jamal. He comes on your roster. He's a guy that you actually kind of want to see in the summer, and so now you get the best of every single.
So he's with the D League in Los Angeles. Came out of San Diego State and drafted by the Grizzlies. Like, I mean, is this just all a bunch of emotions?
I'm still got my hand because there's nobody watching this, including me. No, I don't mean nobody's watching this. I haven't finished the sentence. No one watching this, including me, understand any of what you did. That's not because you're doing a poor job, because they go, what?
But it's
what? I don't mean it. You explained it perfectly well, but people are going, what? So they sign a guy, and then they turn around and cut him, and they're able to keep the salary, and then they sign another guy, and they just want to take a look at him.
Do a lot of teams end up doing this? Like, I'm seriously, like to try and make the floor. Do a lot of teams? End up doing
you really don't
like
see
this?
it. It's kind of these are last little desperation moves here by the Nuggets. You really don't see this a lot in the NBA. But I'll tell you what. Let me one other issue. So the JaVale McGee trade to Philadelphia. Part of that was because Philadelphia was so far under the floor that JaVale McGee's salary got them
that $12.2 million.
Yeah, I think it might even got them up over the threshold. So these deals get made in thinking of that in mind, but you don't usually see a flurry of activity the way the Nuggets are kind of conducting it right now.
Good.
When you go to buy a car, what do you really want? You probably want a lot of cars to choose from. And you want the dealership's best price. Not some starting price or target price, the best price. And you want it immediately, not after hours of negotiating. And you want a salesperson who doesn't get paid more if you spend more. Because, well, you don't want to spend more. Well, you're in luck. John Elway wants all of those things too. Better yet, John Elway wants you to have all of those things too. Come see us or click on elwaydealers.com.